for a weekly trip out to the new zoo.
Neil Anderson joins us live from Swamico this morning, and we're talking more about the red wolf, I believe.
Hi, Neil.
Hey, good morning. It's a beautiful day to come on out and visit the zoo. And before I forget, the zoo is open till 6 o'clock now, 9 till 6. We started our spring hours, and like I say, the zoo's open at 9 and we close at 6. And so come on out, check the animals out. It's a beautiful day, and behind me are the red wolves. We talked a little bit about the red wolves and how important a program this is. You know, this is one of the most endangered canids in the world. You know, right now there's 197 of the red wolves that are in the captive population, and about 174 are actually able to go ahead and contribute to propagation efforts. Now, what happens each year, what we end up getting, because these guys are part of what we call an SSP plan, which is a species survival plan. And it's a plan that is constructed and evaluated every single year. There's a committee and there's a working group for several of the endangered animals that have SSP plans. And what they end up doing then is taking a look at the whole population and making breeding and transfer recommendations. So they'll take a look at and they'll say, okay, well, here's the plan. Here's how many animals, and of course based on the overall numbers that they would like to maintain in the population and the genetic diversity that they're dealing with and what they would like to move towards, they come up with these breeding and transfer recommendations. Now, last year there was 19 transfers. So when we talk about hoping to have 29 pairs, and of that, maybe less than a quarter will produce pups, be successful. So when you do that, you also have to move animals around. So they look at, well, how are you going to move animals around? Who's going to be paired with who? So they look how related each individual is. They'll make the transfer plans, what's working or not. Of course, the pair that we had here before, the male, it really didn't work out. So they make the recommendations. There was 19 transfers. That has to happen across the whole country then. You got to move all these animals. You got to get them ready to go. So they're in here with breeding season. But I've got to show you this too, because there is so much that goes on behind the scenes on these endangered species breeding programs. And there's a lot of math that goes along with it as well. Now I'm going to show you, this is just a little chart here, but what it will show you up above is, we talked, it went down to 14 animals, and there was actually 12 animals that were able to contribute to the beginning of the propagation efforts, and what we call founders, for the red wolf. But take a look at these charts. You'll see here the whole genetic summary of the red wolf SSP, gene diversity, pedigrees, genome surviving. There's so much that goes into this to plan, and then ultimately, we hope that we have a successful pairing, like maybe here, and then we do produce some pups, because to keep this population going and to keep the genetic diversity where it needs to be for these guys to survive in the long haul, we got to hope that every one of these pairings are successful. Hey, Neil, real quick, amazing stuff, sure. But we heard that you do have a baby at the zoo, that there's a baby monkey. Yes. This is something, the last 3 years we've had a baby monkey. Now they're not, they're not like seasonal breeders. They can breed throughout the year. We've had 2 on Easter and 1 on the day before Easter. Really? You have 3 new baby monkeys? Yeah, and different, we only have 1, we've got 1 this year, but over the years. Oh, it's just, okay. Yeah, it's kind of cool, with the dates like that. So Easter's been pretty magic for us for awesome. The snow monkeys. But mom's doing well and the little one, and they are on exhibit. So it doesn't look like we will have to hand raise this one. Oh, good. That's definite excellent. Reason to get out to the new zoo. Yeah, thanks, Neil. It'll be fun to watch. And we'll be right back. You're watching Good Day Wisconsin.